Welcome to the Rusted Garden. It's mid-October and I'm going to harvest one of my 2 containers of sweet potatoes. And again, in Maryland Zone 7, sweet potatoes you really want to get into the ground, into containers in May, and then come October it's a great time to harvest them. Now I've harvested these before in September, but really learned that if you can let these go another good 4 weeks, 6 weeks before the hard frosts come in, you're going to get fatter sweet potatoes. We're going to harvest this container. It's about a 10-gallon container. I'll talk to you about, how I took care of these, why we do that. What I want to do is I want to cut in right now part of an old video that shows you how you can start growing your own sweet potato slips. These are slips. The vines are basically called slips. You can start a sweet potato indoors in February, grow your own slips, and then you can plant them out into the ground, and that may be something you want to do next year. But let's get to harvesting this container. As I get this ready, I'll show you some of that video. Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today I want to show you how to make your own sweet potato slips. A couple things to keep in mind. Today is May 17th and I started these on February 8th. So online sometimes it says it can be done within 30 days. I don't think so. So you're going to have to give yourself at least 60 to 90 days before these would go out into your garden to get the growth that you need. Not only do you need to get them to grow 3 to 5 inch stalks like this, you also have to give them a week or two to sit in the water to root out, and these cuttings will go right into your garden. This is all you do. That's the cutting that I just took before the video. You just take it off of your plant, just like that. You'd stick these into water, and very quickly, within a week, they're going to have a nice root system. Somewhere between a week or two, these have been sitting in there. Here's one that's been in there 2 weeks. That one's probably ready to go into the ground. And these have been in there for about a week, but you can see the root system start. So a week or two in water, when these stalks are about 3 to 5 inches tall, and you will have your own sweet potato slips that can just be planted right into your garden. So some quick setup information. You want to use a nice loose potting mix. You can buy it off the shelf or make your own, but you want it to be nice and loose. You want to really put in your organic matter, a good fertilizer with a nice balance of like a 5-5-5 NP and K, because these are heavy feeders, and you want to make sure you represent phosphorus and potassium in here, not just nitrogen. I only put 2 vines in here because I was experimenting. I wanted to see how large I could grow a sweet potato. So 2 vines. Usually I put in 4, 5, or 6 in a space like this, and in fact I'll harvest the other one because that has, I think, 5 vines in there, and we can just see what the difference is between something of just growing 2 plants and seeing what size and amount of potatoes we get out of here. So in Maryland Zone 7, you want to get your slips in mid-May, and then you want to harvest around October when the frost starts coming. And again, we only put 2 plants in here. You're going to use a water-soluble fertilizer too, every 10 to 14 days, and you do want to try and really represent the phosphorus and potassium in there, not just nitrogen with your water-soluble fertilizer. And of course, when the plants are smaller, you don't need to water them that often with the water-soluble fertilizer. But as they start growing and it's midsummer, you're going to have to give them more fertilizer. So let's start with the potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Alright, so that's a large sweet potato. Alright, so 2 slips, 2 nice sized sweet potatoes. I don't feel any more in here. So, I'm proud of the size, that's awesome. But for quantity, it feels like I just got 2 massive sweet potatoes, which is great. So somewhere between this and my other videos, I'd like to get, maybe 4 or 6 sweet potatoes, maybe of like this size out of here. So let's go to the other container and see how it varies with 5 vines in there. But these are massive. These are really nice. So here's the second container, and actually when I go in there and count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 slips in there. Let's see if we get more than 4 large sweet potatoes out of there, because I really do want to find that balance between 1 or 2 massive sweet potatoes to a nice quantity that I can eat over a couple of weeks. So there's the second container. About 12 sweet potatoes came out of there. There's my hand, so you can have a comparison for size. Not bad. I think this is a great production for 4 plants being in there. Compared to just using 2 slips, 2 vines over here, you did get 2 massive sweet potatoes, so I think they are both a success, but this will give you some idea that you can use 10-gallon, 12-gallon containers. If you use more slips, more vines, you're going to get smaller sweet potatoes, but you're going to get a good quantity. If you want to just go for size, less vines, and they're going to concentrate, the plants are going to concentrate all their resources into one massive tuber. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Every year I start from the beginning. So in January I'm going to do indoor seed starting, and I go through the whole process of planting, tending, managing pest disease, and harvesting plants over a year. Thanks for watching, and please check out my blog at www.therustedgarden.com.